Welcome, welcome or welcome back. Come on in, come on in. Come get a big old hug. You know how I like to start these readings. Let me slow down and talk a little clearly. So yeah, welcome to Susan's Spectrum. I am Susan, aka the Teal Empress. So welcome to my channel. It's important to note that I am a master Reiki energy healer as well as a master energy reader, and that's what I get the joy of doing here on my channel. It's also important to know every color, sound, shape, everything in my readings is in part of the reading. It is Spirit's way of showing you firsthand the different languages that Spirit speaks to us daily if we'll just pay attention. And here it gives you that close tunnel vision so you can actually see it, and then you can actually start seeing it in your life as well. So that's ultimately what this is about. Yeah. So got that out. Nose already itching. I'm already channeling. So I do when I come on here. I have a team, me and my spirit guides. As soon as I hit the record button, I'm already channeling. It is that's just how we do. Yeah. So let me sit back. So I'm not in my hometown. I'm gonna give you everything, the stories, everything that's is part of the reading. Okay. I just want to let you know that. So this is going to be a collective energy message. Not so much a reading. Not a reading. This is definitely a message. I will be coming through with y'all a reading. I'll do it tonight. Just so you can have it back to back. So you can have what you want and what you need. Like I said, it was going to be starting to come forth. So stay tuned into that. We will get a reading with the cards later and get it spice it up a little bit. But this here is going to be a collective energy message. All right. And yeah, so this is going to be that message, the footstool that Spirit gave me, I guess about 2 weeks ago now. Told me that I would be given a reading. Told me that to name it the footstool. And y'all, what's important to know is when that happens, from the moment the Spirit tells me I'm going to be given a reading, from that point to the point it's time to give the reading, everything that happens in my life, there's things that happen that is supposed to be part of the reading. That's how it works for me. That's how Spirit uses me as a vessel. And so what was wild was it was crickets from the moment that, wow, look at that rainbow. It was completely crickets, completely silence from the moment that Spirit told me that I was going to be given this message. And when I was told the title of it, I felt such a heavy weight. I was like, oh Lord, the footstool. I mean, this is going to be a heavy message. And then Spirit was silent on me, and I'm like, oh my God. So during this time, I'm like, okay, if Spirit's going silent on me, there's something Spirit wants me to see. So I started looking up, what does the footstool really mean? What is the meaning of a footstool? I didn't like the definition I got from it. It was showing just a lower level. And I was like, Spirit, you got to give me more than this. This is not how I'm going to come and present you being out on the lower level. And Spirit, nothing, silence. And I was like, oh my God. So as I kept pondering on it and what Spirit was reflecting on it, I would reflect and I would think, I cannot picture a king with a footstool. Think about, like, really think on it, because this is what, when Spirit gives you something, he wants you to look at every angle. And so since Spirit went quiet on me, I was looking at the angle. I was like, I cannot really see a king sitting with a footstool. Did you really see a king with a footstool? Like, that sounded seemed like the kind of king that. So I knew that. I was like, no, Spirit, there is more to this. And then last night, Spirit is so amazing. So it's been raining the last couple days around me. That's why my hair looks like this. So it's been raining the last couple days. So after I fixed supper last night, I normally go eat in the living room, but I went to my bedroom. Oh, this is gonna be important. And what was weird about that is when I pulled my little side TV stand table up to eat, I have a step stool beside my bed that I put my purse on when I go to sleep, because I don't want my purse on the ground. Now, when I pulled this TV stand over to get position to eat, it pulled the step stool up, and it just automatically, my feet went on the stool like it was supposed to be there. Like I'd done that a million times, which I've never done that. And it was the most comfortable, and Spirit said, this is it. I was like, oh my God. No, the footstool is when the spirit's supposed to be pulling up when to eat supper. Because before I was like, I can't see no king on no damn with a footstool sitting there chilling. And then I was like, any other picture, I'd be like, unless he's taking a shit. I was like, this is not what spirits want me to portray. And last night when my foot went on that step stool as I was eating, it was the most comfortable position, like I'd done it a million times. And I knew, and Spirit said right then, this is the message. Now, after I got through eating and put my plate up and come sit back down, I thought I was going to get comfortable to get the message. I fell asleep. I passed out. So I woke up today, and all that's important. It was all meant to be. You'll see. I'll say after this is done too as well. So that's the channel message part of it. Then Spirit told me that, and y'all know, like, I had the King James version on my phone, so I read the Word daily. I read from that. So when Spirit told me to how He wanted this message to go, He wanted that to be the channel message, but for the meat of it to be what I'm fixing to read y'all. It was weird because, like I said, I read from the King James version, but to bring it to y'all, I had to break this version out so I could have it handy to read, and all that's important. So I don't even know how this is going to read because I don't from this translation, but I trust in Spirit. Saying that is because, before I get into this now, what Spirit wants is for me to read Genesis 3, and that is the message to go along with the message for the footstool. Now, yes, why would it be in the beginning when she's come back to eat at the end? Everything is divine. I don't question. And here's what I'm telling you too. So, I don't know what you're supposed to get from this collective, but let me just tell you a little bit. So, on my awakening journey over the years, probably the first 4 years, Spirit would wake me up out of the middle of the night, like literally between 2 and 5, all the time, and had me study. I'm talking about study word for word Enoch. I couldn't understand why, but each time, and I'd be like, I already know this part. Spirit said, no, I'd have to go, that I would find something else. All right? And it's very important that. So, these last 4 years, Spirit has been waking me up reading. The first couple was Genesis 1, chapter 1. It's over and over and over. And then I couldn't, but I found there was so much that. It's just amazing. There's so much that, yeah. And I don't share all that because that's my special time with Spirit. So I'm not going to share with you all the nuggets that's just in that alone. But I am going to share with you this nugget. So the past couple years, out of those past 4 years that Spirit's had me in the Word of Genesis, He's had me just from Genesis 1 through chapter 5. But the last 2 years, He's been liking me up read chapter 3 over and over and over and over. To the point where it's annoying me. But I know there's something to it, so I keep getting up like, God, Spirit, what do you want me to see? Now, what Spirit showed me, I'd never seen before, and it's quite fucking shocking. Yeah, excuse my language, but it's that passionate, it's that shocking, is that in chapter 3 is very bluntly, someone was cast out already. It took me years of reading and seeing that over and over and over to even pick it up. I'm not asking you to believe anything I believe. I'm not asking, I'm just saying that's for me what Spirit had shown me. It's there. But so I'm gonna leave it at that, and so I encourage you to get to a quiet spot. You can pause this, come back to it as much as you want to meditate on this chapter, this word. But we are going to Genesis 3, and that is going to be the footstool message. Spirit wants for you. The man and the woman's sin. Chapter 3. The serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. One day, he asked the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden?" "Of course we may eat from the trees in the garden," the woman replied. "It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. God said you must not eat it or even touch it. If you do, you will die." "You won't die," the serpent replied to the woman. "God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil." The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. At that moment their eyes were opened, and they suddenly felt shame at their nakedness. So they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When the cool evening breezes were blowing, the man and his wife heard the Lord God asking about in the garden. Hold on, let me get that right. That's what his wife heard the Lord God walking about in the garden. So they hid from the Lord God among the trees. Then the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" He replied, "I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked." "Who told you were naked?" the Lord asked. "Have you eaten from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat?" The man replied, "It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit, and I ate it." Then the Lord God asked the woman, "What have you done?" "The serpent deceived me," she replied. "That's why I ate it." Then the Lord God said to the serpent, this is why he said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all animals, domestic and wild. You will crawl on your belly, groveling in the dust as long as you live. And I will cause hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel." Then he said to the woman, "I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you." Since you listen, and to the man he said, so that was it there. And to the man he said, "Since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. It will grow thorns and thistles for you, though you will eat of its grains. By the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat, until you return to the ground from which you were made. For you were made from the dust, and to the dust will you return." Paradise lost, God's judgment. This starts verse 20 of chapter 3. Then the man, Adam, named his wife Eve, because she would be the mother of all who lived. And the Lord God made clothing from animal skins for Adam and his wife. Then the Lord God said, Look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take from the fruit of life and eat it? What if they reach out, take from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever. That's what Eve did, right? So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent out Adam. Listen. So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden, and he sent out Adam to cultivate the ground from which he was made. After sending them out, and the Lord God stationed mighty cherubim to the east of the Garden of Eden, and he placed a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way of the tree of life. I hope and trust that you got what you need to receive. If not, I ask you to just listen this many times you need to and reflect on what Spirit has for you. 14:11. I say all my time, I'm sending you so much love and light. But I'll be coming through later on with the cards for